This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like, Don't mistake the new me for the old me. They can't stop me now, I'm with the home team. No beginner, I'm a winner. Took a couple losses, now I'm cooking, let me simmer. Yeah, tunnel vision, all I see is win, 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 win. This my city section where you been. We move faster alone, but go further together. We can weather any weather forever. A dream team, I done seen things. Confidence is on 100,000. I got family for miles, running up the mileage. Made it through some trials and some tribulations. Now me and the team out here celebrating, yeah. This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like, Forget the things you probably thought you knew. A new day is approaching, turn the gray skies into blue. I grew up on these same blocks, school of hard knocks. Had to get it on a hard time, took the hard shots, but we made it. Anticipated, highly decorated. The home team is winning, celebrated. The victory is all mine, and everything is alright. And you know how to see things, confidence is on 100,000. I got family for miles, running up the mileage. Made it through some trials and some tribulations. Now me and the team out here celebrating, yeah. This is where we come from, yeah, we did it. City on my back, I'm committed. This is where we come from, yeah, we made it. Now the whole team celebrating. We like,
All right, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Spike Kool-Aid for Friday, the 13th of February, 2026. Can you guys believe that we are already as far as we are into 2026, man? That is crazy. Shout out to everybody in the chat. Braylon, Donkey Kong, Fave, we got X. Lions Live 365 says perfect timing. Matthew says, I've been a subscriber for a year and it's only the second live I've been in. Friday the 13th, man. So you know what's funny is, so I'm looking at the calendar and I'm like, yo, is it Friday the 13th? I think that only happens once or twice a year. So yeah, it's weird when it's in February, man. Braylon says, I'm so ready for baseball season. Yeah, it's right around the corner, bro. Right around the corner. Pistons will be in the playoffs by the time that I think that commences. So yeah. So I got some news that I am happy to announce. I was a man of my word, and I called and made one of many appointments that I'm sure to be in my future. So I called yesterday, actually, and because by the time we got off the show, it was too late. So I called yesterday, and I scheduled my appointment for March the 3rd. And it was kind of amazing to see so many people in the comment section of Wednesday's show saying, get checked out. And yeah, it's something that we need to definitely start doing. And you know what? It's weird, man. Like, I don't fear the doctor. Like, it's never been a thing, man, that I think what it is you fail to make time. I think that's the case, especially if we're not sick. Like, if I'm one of them guys, like, I have to be sick. When I had a 9 to 5, usually if you miss a couple days, I think it's 3 days, you need like a doctor's note to pretty much get it excused. But so I would go then. And after I stopped working 9 to 5, which was, man, in 2019, you kind of, unless you are like deathly ill, you don't go to the doctor until you need something. Whether I have asthma, so sometimes I'll need an inhaler or whatever. So you like, oh, let me make an appointment so I can get this inhaler or whatever, right? But like the natural checkups you just don't do. So with all of this stuff going on, man, and it was like, I got to do it. So went and did it. And from that point on, I'm sure we'll talk about what's next. I'm going to let them know what I need to do. I have had a particular procedure done when I was in my 30s, and it was the colonoscopy is what it was. So I had some stomach issues. I had that done when I was 35. I wonder if that did me any good now. Like if I wouldn't have done that, and it was a medical condition that I had to get it done. But if I wouldn't have done that, then what would it be different now? Would I have had a different situation? So thanks to everybody. And this is a reminder to yourself as well. And I was saying this on Lion Syndicate yesterday. You know, it's kind of sad when your wife says she's proud of you for making a doctor's appointment. Like, what the heck is that? That's what we're supposed to be doing. You know, I'm taking my son all the time to his appointments. I make sure she's good. But ourselves, man, unless it's something that will incapacitate us, we don't go. So the James Vanderbeek big thing, man, that's like, because one of them things is it seems like it's taking out more and more people. And you just like, you wonder if you could have done something to prevent it or to kind of alter the course. So I did it, and it will be a regular thing. So I'm going to do all the middle-aged stuff that needs to be done, and we're going to get those things done, man. So I implore you to do the same. If you've been putting off some things, man, don't look, your body is like a car. You got to maintain it. You got to eat right. You've got to work out. You've got to keep your calories down. You know what I'm saying? You got to eat the right thing. Take care of your heart, and you have to go to the doctor. So that's where I'm at now. Made the appointment. Thank you for everybody that was that said something in the comment section. Braylon says, I'm ready for baseball weather. Dave, what up, bro? Says, hey, D, I talked to Ryan from Whitebeard Signs, and I'm in the process of getting a sign made. What was the size of yours, and how would you recommend I put it on the wall? Dave, I left you a message on one of the videos. It was a voice message. So I'm glad you got in contact with them. I have the 48-inch, which the last time I talked to him, he got a bigger machine, and this is the largest size he can make, was 48 inches. So this one, that's that one, but you don't need it this big, bro. I literally got it this big because of the studio setup. But I would stick it on the wall with probably, like, it depends on what you're working with, right? If you rent, then that's one thing. If you own your home, then that's another. But I just use there's some Home Depot screws that they're not screws, they're like nails, and they come with this little hook, and you can get them to like hold certain poundage. So like 7, 10, 15, whatever. And they make one that you can hold 50 pounds. So this one, I had to get 2 different hooks. So it's one on the top of the head, and then it's one at the tail. Because it's much bigger than it appears on screen. I am about 3.5 to 4 feet in front of the image. If I was to, so the background appears smaller, but it's really, if I was to back up, bro, like, I'm still a good foot away from it, but it's quite big. It's quite big. So, but as long as you put it up there, man, whatever you do not use command strips. I learned that the hard way. Let me see. Shift says, what's up, Rich? Shift says, don't expect Henderson to be a Lion. I think he'd be a Colt, Buccaneer, or Bear at worst. Yeah, my friend's dad just got home from a successful heart transplant. That is amazing, man. Those things scare the life out of me, man. What they have, the fact that you are like, that's crazy, bro. But I'm glad he made it. Steve says, there are rumors, there's many rumors that getting checked up leads to complications from the checkup itself. Doctors want that insurance money. Well, I mean, that's the world we live in, bro. So everybody can make their own choices. Let me see. Do you think we trade up for an edge like 16 or 14? Devin, I'm going to say no. I hope Brad is going to make some moves this offseason. Everyone else has gotten better, and it showed this past season. We are in no place to be passive. Lions don't have capital to trade up, says Flint Lions fan. Justin May the Rapper says, do we have any more news about the Detroit Lions yet? Justin May the Rapper, not really. We're some news will probably come soon. It'll probably come soon. This time of year is for like the super diehard. So that's why I wanted to talk about. I just threw Trey Hendrickson on the thumbnail because there's been some mention of his name coming up. Do I think he's going to be a Detroit Lion? No, I don't. But he is the #1 free agent this season. There's a lot of Max Crosby information coming out, right? And the Detroit Lions are not going to do anything to move the needle. And that's why the title of the show is, are the Detroit Lions going to do anything to move the needle? Because they are, we had this conversation on Lions Syndicate, and it's kind of getting redundant at this point, especially with the Lions not doing anything. Like, they could literally sign their own players right now, but they're not doing anything, right? We got our offensive coordinator. We hired Mike Kafka in some unknown role. There's some other things going on as well. And it's like, I'm wondering what are we waiting on? We could literally sign our players right now. The Mohammeds, the guys that are free agents or will be free agents, because they're not free agents yet. They don't become free agents until March, that March 11th or whatever it is. So we could lock those guys up if we were going to do that. So I'm wondering what is the Lions hold up? Are they really going to test free agency? It ain't like we got a ton of capital to work with, but Steve says, eat right, fast the body, live stress free, better than any doctor's advice. If Bain fails, they will move mountains. Google Trey Hendrickson and see rumors, articles about the Bears. Oh, look, the Bears are going to be better. They're going to be better. I don't know, man. I'm like, and we talk about this stuff. We talk about it. Oh, I do have some news that I was unable to update you guys with because I wasn't on with you on Thursday. Wednesday, I brought it up, but it's confirmed. It was confirmed yesterday, and I am happy to announce that after 3 years, and I feel like I could have got it done much, much sooner, after 3 years of this new mixer and this software. I've been using the software for almost 5 years, but the mixer is 3 years old. I finally figured out a way to bring in guests. So I am super excited. It wasn't that I couldn't bring them in. It was that they would hear themselves. So this mixer that I have has Mix Minus built into it. The software I use has Mix Minus built into it. It's a very weird situation. So, but I finally got it done. And I think I could have got it done long before that, but I was missing something or wasn't paying attention. But we are good to go. I tested it with my wife yesterday, and it is confirmed that she did not hear herself on playback. So that is fantastic. Let me see. Pistons are 40 wins and 13 losses. Yes, I think they are. Well, as of the last time they played, they were the second team to hit 40 wins. So shout out to the Pistons. Not signing your own is a sign of active free agency. You know what, Lions? I was going to say that, but I'm like, nah, I don't want to give them that much credit. Brad is too into building in the draft. Bears have to open the checkbook. Bears cap is as bad as ours. I can go check that out, Lions, because I haven't looked at theirs. If Brad drafts a linebacker, Malcolm Rodriguez goes bye-bye. All right, so let's talk about something real quick. What position would you have an absolute, like, Brad must stay away from in the first round? What position would you say, nope? Would you have a crash out? Would you guys have seen me for year after year? I think it's only been one draft I haven't crashed out. Last year I crashed out. JMO I crashed out. Crashing out is what I do, right? What is the position that if the Lions took, you would crash out? D says wide receiver. Braylon says QB. Braylon says QB or running back. Any offensive pick, I crash out. Brad has to stay away from safety and corner in the first round. You know what, Studios? I was talking to somebody off the air about that yesterday. And that's the position that they think that could be drafted in the first round, or I assume. I would completely lose my mind. Like, absolutely. Although free agency has to happen first. If Brad was to just kill it, you get Tyler, you get Trey. I mean, you just knocking it out the park. And then you want to swing in free agency for a safety. I still would be like, yo, this guy better be the second coming of like Sean Taylor. You know what I'm saying? Because that's all. Like, if you we went over this on, it was either Wednesday show or yesterday on Lions Syndicate. That's, if you go back and you look at his draft history, he has, and in his free agency, he adores the secondary. He absolutely, it's like his favorite spot on the team. Lion says, don't be surprised if he goes safety, linebacker, or DT at 17. If he goes defensive tackle, I will also lose my mind. I will lose my. You know why, Lions? You know why, bro? Broderick Martin. I will never forgive him. He will get forgiven for Broderick Martin when we win a Super Bowl. That's it. Even if these four, you had 3 players that you could have drafted over him. Any 3, it doesn't matter. They probably would have done better than him. Even if it's 1 snap better, they probably would have done better, bro. Let me see. Man, stop, bro, is a cornerback snob with no all-pro CBs. I don't want Hendrickson. He's way too old and declining. Honestly, I think defense sucking is more play calling and scheme related. Really? Y'all are crazy. That's crazy, bro. I mean, I hear Lions Live says that too. Nah, no. We got to get some talent on this team, bro. It's crazy. And you know what's crazy to me is way too old. DeMarcus Lawrence ain't young. I mean, Al-Qadim Muhammad ain't young either. Max Crosby ain't young. That's crazy, bro. Devontae Adams is in his 30s, and he's still cooking fools. I don't understand this logic. If your production backs up your age, then why are we talking about age? Calais Campbell is probably, he's like a dinosaur, bro. Still eating cats for breakfast. Like, if your production is what, that's what matters, man. Terrion Arnold is a bust. Yeah, he is definitely trending that way for sure. One Pride, what up, though, man? Says, yo, D, I asked the same thing. Brad not moving with a sense of urgency is going to have us watch him fumble a guy like AQM, and then he would be able to say he's had 14 and a half and 11 sack guys. Well, listen, he's not going to pay Muhammad. He's not going to do it. We've already gone over that. Brad Holmes is not going. That's why Trey is listen, here's what is going to happen. If Brad Holmes does anything out of the ordinary, it tells you that there is a fire lit under his behind. If he doesn't, I still think there's a warmer under there, but a fire would mean fire results. Even if it's and we don't want to necessarily get to this point because desperation could ruin this team. Because we saw it with Matt Patricia, right? We've seen desperation before where guys are trying to save their jobs. They become desperate. They do things that hurt the team after they're gone. That's what happened with Matt Patricia. You traded for Everson Griffin. He got 2.5 sacks. Lions have needed a pass rusher since the olden days, the Porsche days, the Scroggins days. That's where we're at. Mel Kiper says, this is a weak draft, but a strong draft class for wide receivers. Watch Brad take another one. Dog, ain't no way. Bring the Fire says, I would start flipping tables like Jesus. Oh, if we draft a DT. Okay, so positions we are not coming anywhere near. A quarterback in the first round, it ain't happening. A running back in the first round, it ain't happening. So I'm not even going to talk about those. I would crash out if we draft a defensive tackle, a cornerback, or a safety. If we do those things, I'm driving to Allen Park, bro, and I'm going straight to jail. I'm a pull up on the parking lot across the street from Allen Park. I'm going to hit the gas. I'm going to jump the curb. I'm going to bust through the fence, bro. And I'm finding Brad. I am finding Mr. Holmes, bro. We should get either edge, offensive tackle, or cornerback. So here's where I'm at. We have to talk about free agency first. We go straight to the draft like that's all that matters. It's how you build your team, but you still got to add the extra pieces, man. So when we skip over free agency, and I think it's because we are used to this guy doing absolutely nothing in free agency that we go to the draft. This is where he's shined the most, that we just skip over free agency. And I'm not mad at you if you do, because he is, I don't, you know what? I think my stream is good today. The other day it was acting stupid, man. My wife said she was having a problem. She was having a problem as well. Lion says no pass rushers drafted after us in the 2024 or 5 have been good, and y'all been begging for bust at this point. Hey, you know what though, bro? It ain't necessarily about any draft in particular. It's about, for me, it's about free agency. That's where I'm at. Like because that's how you chose to make this team better, or you chose. Like if you look at, I'm gonna tell you right now, I think edge is the most neglected position on this team. 100%. I think edge is the most neglected position on this team. I've always said that. Why do you think I crash out all the time? It is the most neglected position on this team. And when he does, it's Ahmed Hassani. Has anybody else, like, I'm gonna say this. So his family is it. I don't want to say that it's I don't know. I've never seen anything like his family. Like his family is like allegedly in people's comment sections. If they know when you mention this guy, if he's on the thumbnail, they will jump in the comment section and they will talk. It's crazy, bro. Somebody that said they were his mom and somebody that said they were his dad, his brother or something, has been all around YouTube as well. Matter of fact, I made a video about him. He commented he's never commented on this channel before. And he commented and said that something about the international pathway player. I've never seen anything like this, man. That's crazy. We need better guys, but the play caller is the most important. Okay, Camille. Well, Brad messed up with that. So how are we getting any better? How are we getting any better? See, to me, if you have talent, you can overcome scheme. That's just where I'm at. If you have talent, you can overcome scheme. Braylon says he's overhyped at this point. We should look at the UFL as a second place to get free agents with tape, or should we look at I'm sure. Look, we looked at the UFL, the CFL, the XFL. I mean, we looked everywhere, and we ain't signed none of them guys. Let me see. Edge will probably be neglected again this year, probably just for him not to take one snap. I think Nakobe Dean is a free agent. Wouldn't mind him. You know what? You know what? Let's do this. Let's go. And I'm glad you said that, because this is probably going to be the majority of the show. Like right now, I have no planned segments. Sometimes I map these things out. Sometimes I don't. But I have been meaning to look at this for a while. And here are the top 50 free agents. And I don't know if we'll look through all of them, but these are the top 50 free agents according to ESPN.com. And this is a little while ago that this came out. All right. So the number one free agent is Trey Hendrickson. He will be, when the season starts, he will be 31. Now, I am not bothered by this at all. I wouldn't mind if we did this. If you trade for Max Crosby, there are some things that you are going to get. You're going to get a couple years youth. You're going to have to pay money, and you're going to have to pay draft capital. But in return for that, you get a younger player. You also get a player who you're going to have for the foreseeable future, right? So if you were to trade for a Max Crosby, that means that is your edge rushing duo, Aiden Hutchinson and Max Crosby, for the foreseeable future. Like, the Lions aren't going to draft, like, at this point, there's not going to be a first-round edge. It might be a fourth-round edge. But again, these are Brad Holmes, and that's why I'm at the point where Brad has to show me something different, because I have been waiting for 5 years for him to show me something different, and he has not. He is not taking an edge rusher outside of, I thought Josh Pascal was a DT. When he was drafted, I thought it said DT under his name, right? But I guess he's an edge. So outside of Aiden Hutchinson and Josh Pascal, there's been no defensive end taken prior to the 6th round for Brad Holmes. And then in free agency, we have signed how many legit edge rushers? Al-Qadim Muhammad was a practice squad dude that we went and scooped up, who had his chances with other teams, and he turned and had a career year and made his money. I have no problem with that. He did exactly what you're supposed to do in a contract year. And now he's outpriced himself from the Lions. Why have I said that? Because nobody has gotten paid over $7 million on the edge rusher position. Brad, this is his most. He hates it. And we got confirmation of that when was it? We got confirmation of that last offseason. You guys remember last offseason when the media was edge. And Brad finally said something. He finally came out and said, the fans value the edge position more than we do. That's what he said. Like literally. Okay. So Brad Holmes, I'm not, he is going to wear, and Aiden Hutchinson is going to get worn out. It's going to get worn out. And that's why, to me, I'm like, look, I understand that Hutch needs to get better with this and that, and I believe he will. But as long as he's pretty much the only one doing it on a consistent basis, that the only one that people are game planning for the Detroit Lions, all right, I am going to cut him all the slack in the world. Because literally no one else, it was, okay, Al-Qadim Muhammad in bunches, right? But even, so that was 1 year. What about the years before that? There's nobody even from an edge rusher position that's even close to Hutch. Muhammad was the closest guy in years, bruh. It was usually Hutch, Aleem, Alex. If you're a linebacker, like not a pass rushing linebacker, a cover linebacker, is your third leading sacker, that is a problem, bruh. That's a problem. So when Hutch wears himself out, that's going to be on Brad. The more I talk about this, the more I'm ready for Brad to go. Look, I am this close. I'm like a sneeze and a fart away from him to go. You know how you sneeze and fart at the same time? That's where I'm at. Soon as I sneeze and fart at the same time, I'm done. Brad Holmes, dog, I am done with him. I'm so, like, I'm on the cusp of done. Right there, it's on the tip of my tongue. I'm done, man, because the more you talk about him, the more upset you get. I do. Because all I see is this arrogant dude just sitting there, you know, define aggressive. Speaking of define aggressive, I ordered my shirts today. Finally, I was having some problems with the website. I decided to order this one. And let me tell you why. This is the one people chose, but I decided to order the other one because of it's an anatomy thing, okay? It's an anatomy thing, so I decided to order this one as a test to see, but I went on and somebody stole this design. It's not even I don't even own the rights to his picture, so don't sue me. But it's crazy. It's crazy that somebody on Twitter stole the design, but I don't feel so bad because people steal all the time. They steal all the time, man. And I'm like, dog, it finally happened to me. So anyway, I got my shirts. They should be here before the month is out. So if all is well, those shirts will be on sale before the month is out. NFL doesn't cut slack. Its performance are in the highest level or by. The way our boy Ahmed was talking before the season started, I thought we were for sure running the chip, bro. Hey, if his family was to say anything about it, it would. It's crazy how words had y'all hype. That's why I am done. I don't care what Drew Petzing has to say. I don't care what Brad or Dan have to say. I care about what they do. So for Petzing, we're not going to be able to see that till, we're not going to get a true feel for Drew until October, right? So it's a while before him. Brad and Dan, I'm done. Enough talk, bro. It's time to take care of business. Let me see. How did Dan go from biting kneecaps to crying in 3 weeks? How? Dan Campbell need to go for Belichick? No, bro. No. The 313, I can't do that. No. You know how it would be if Bill Belichick, bro. No, there's no way. The closest I came to Bill was Matt, and I'm burned from Matt. I don't want nothing to do with Bill Belichick. All right, so here's a couple other guys. So we discussed that Trey Hendrickson, and so for me, I would do this. You guys know I've been talking about Trey Hendrickson for 3 years, and that's assuming he escapes Cincinnati. Like I said this before, if I'm Trey, I don't take a single snap for the Cincinnati Bengals. Not a one. I will never play for them again. Ever. I will retire before I let them hold me hostage, bro. It ain't happening. The way that they're doing me, it would not happen. I would be like, look, y'all are wrong for this. I'm retired. That's it. I would have to take control because they're literally treating me like a slave. They're treating me like a slave. So they plan all these games with him, and they begrudgingly paid him last year after leading the NFL in sacks in 2024. And now they're talking about maybe franchise. There's no way I take another snap for them. All right, George Pickens, he's going. All right, we back. We should be back. The heck, bro? We back. Hey, Kelly. All right, we went out. We went out for a minute. This time I saw my software. So my software will turn orange if there's a problem with. So it's red. Red means good. Orange means there's a problem. So I saw it go orange. Derek, remember when fans called us a dynasty and thought Ahmed was the second coming of Myles Garrett? I know you remember. Of course I remember, bro. Of course I remember, because I was trying to tell people not to do that. Okay, Michael says he's expected to be tagged. Who is he? Tyler or Trey? It says Dan has done a good job for us, but he's nowhere near Belichick level. I want Belichick. I just don't like the vibe he would bring here. I think remember how Matt Patricia, like nothing was fun? You know what I'm saying? If you think about it, the Lions became fun after Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes. Like I wouldn't want to go to training camp. I wouldn't want to do nothing. That's another thing that as to why I don't really think Dan will go anywhere. I think Dan is a pillar. Like Dan is the Detroit Lions, and I just don't think he moves anywhere. Oh, Pickens, yes, Pickens is about to be tagged. Yes. Okay, let me bring in the next free agent. Yeah, he's being tagged, which is insane. Okay, number 4 is going to be Daniel Jones. Even with the injury, he probably going to get paid. Number 5 is Jalen Phillips, 27. You know what's funny is that this is a guy that we were talking about. He is going to be a free agent. And I saw today that the Eagles, somebody somewhere said the Eagles are, guess what? What do you think the Eagles are trying to do? The Eagles are Max Crosby, don't be surprised. That's what I saw early this morning. Shout out to whoever sent me that. Number 5 is Jalen Phillips, okay? So the way that last year went, okay, it's a good thing that we didn't trade for him, because it would have been a waste last year. And I don't know at the trade deadline we saw that, because we were winning games. The defense was still pretty good. I just deleted those photos off my computer, so I can't bring them up. But the defense, like, we still thought we had a chance. And if we would have traded for Jalen Phillips, we would have given up draft capital. I think it was only, a third-round pick that we don't have. But he would have been a free agent. So we would have traded for him. It would have been great. But it turned out to be, because of how last year went, it turned out to be because Jalen Phillips at this point, as we saw that the defense was worsening, he wasn't going to move the needle enough for the defense to be top 10. He just wasn't going to do it, right? Brad has to overhaul this team. So, wow, he's number 5. That's high. That's higher than I thought. All right, Alec Pierce, shout out to him, man. I remember when he was drafted. Alec Pierce, that's going to be a good snag somewhere. Breece Hall is going to be another free agent. You have, I'm trying to see, Rasheed Walker. Team is the Green Bay Packers. So he's number 8. Braden Smith. I know somebody is talking about this guy. Somebody mentioned this guy, 30 years old, that he would be somebody that the Lions could look over. John Franklin Myers is number 11. Alante Taylor, number 12. Quay Walker. Wow, I didn't even realize he was going to be a free agent. So it looked like the NFC North could be changing a little bit. Reek Woolen. Now, Reek Woolen was a guy that also was people were talking about the Lions trading for him. This is like early September-ish, October. As the trade deadline, we were nearing it, that the Seattle, he was kind of like on the outside looking in, but he wound up winning the Super Bowl, which is crazy, bro. Imagine if, shout out to Rashid Shaheed. I know he like, yo, just think about this. In October, you're on the Saints. You're going nowhere. And by February, you're a Super Bowl champion, which is insane. So, if the Lions were to trade or sign a QB, a CB in free agency, that tells me, I know, what does that tell you? All right, Mike Evans. I think Mike Evans is going to go to a Super Bowl contender. I think he's going to go there. And don't start with the Mike Evans is washed and all. Has he been battling injury? Yes. Can he still ball? Yes. A couple years ago, we were making Mike Evans videos, and they were some of the most viewed videos on my channel. Mike Evans is still that guy. I'm not, until your production shows that you are old, I'm not going to treat you like that. Jalen Watson is number 16. Malik Willis. Malik Willis is number 17. I wonder, where could Malik Willis land? We talked about this a couple of weeks ago. What team? Malik Willis could be a starter somewhere. He really could. If you gave him a chance, start from one. I mean, he had to work his way up to that, right? Where could Malik Willis go? I don't know if there's a team that's ready to make him the starter, but if I was a rebuilding team that didn't have a chance at the quarterback I wanted, or even if I did, man, look, unless you are picked in the top 10, even if you are, right, I would have loved for Matthew Stafford to sit. Even if you're the number one pick, I would have loved for you to sit, man. The quarterback is probably one of the toughest positions in all of sports. I would have loved for you to sit at least half a season. Like, to come right out, like, think about this. You go to college, right? You're in college. Most of your plays are from the shotgun. Like, real talk. And now you're in the NFL, and you got NFL defensive linemen breathing down your neck. I would like if really all quarterbacks could sit, but the ones for the Lions, yeah. All right, Malik Willis. This is going to be entertaining, man. Wow, Travis Etienne is a free agent. Has it been that long? Holy smokes. Devin Lloyd. He was balling. He was balling in Jacksonville, bro. Isaiah Likely. Isaiah Likely is that high? Wow. That mean, look, if you in the top, I'm going to tell you where Brad at. We at the bottom. We in the bottom 10. So we're not even going to talk Detroit Lions until we get to the bottom 10. Isaiah Likely. Shallow and pedantic. Romeo Dobbs. Did not know that either. Number 21. Khalil Mack. Now, this is a guy. I don't know his market value. This is a guy I could see Brad Holmes going after. I'm 100%. 35 years old, probably not going to command the salary he once did. Even his last contract. And I feel like Khalil Mack, after the Bears Khalil Mack, the Raiders Khalil Mack, the Chargers Khalil Mack, I feel like Khalil Mack at 35 years old, this is a guy. There's another guy too that I'm gonna make a video about on Lion Syndicate. This next guy, I think he gonna go somewhere and ball. Kyle Pitts, number 23. I think he gonna go. Kenneth Walker. I was seeing some videos about where he could go. Super Bowl MVP. Kenneth Walker, 25 years old, man. Brian Cook is number 25. Rashid Shaheed. Dog, you talk about the perfect scenario. Seahawks traded for Rashid Shaheed. He paid off, won a Super Bowl, and now is a free agent. Unreal. That's like the best case scenario. What is this? Clavion Chasen? Wow. I wonder if the Lions would do that. Jawan Jennings. So the 49ers could look a little different next year either. Two, Javonte Williams. Wow, the running back for the Dallas Cowboys. Boye Mafe. Still too high. Look, still too high, bro. Still too high. We not even going 27, too young, too high. We ain't even going to talk about him. Isaac, what is that? Samalo. And then who else we got? Reed Blankenship. Dang, bro, has it really been this long that these guys are free agents? Holy moly. Zion Johnson is number 33. Greg Newsome, number 34. Connor McGovern, number 35. Could you guys see the Lions going after him? Could you see that? David Edwards is number 36. Nashawn Wright, number 37. Now we're getting into Detroit Lions territory. This is when we are getting to the Detroit Lions territory. There it is. Joey Bosa. There you go. But he's probably going to go to San Francisco because they are going to need an edge rusher. Why not end your career playing with your brother? So you might as well go there. But this is where we right here. This is when we start with the Detroit Lions. Chig Okonkwo, Wan'Dale Robinson. Now, it's hard to believe he's that low, but I saw a article yesterday where he about to get paid. I think he was the Giants' leading receiver with Malik Neighbors going down. But he is going to command a bunch of money. But, wow. All right, here we go. Cam Curl. Okay. All right. This sounds like Lions territory to me. Joe Benito, number 42. Cade Mays, number 43. Jawan Brisker, number 44. Leo Chenal, number 45. Rico Dowdle, wow, number 46. Kobe Bryant, number 47. Nakobe Dean, you were right. Man. Whoever said that in the comment section was correct. He will be a free agent. Number 48. Number 49, Kenneth Gainwell. And number 50 is Alex Anzalone. Dang. Wow. Hey, this free agent class is cheeks, bro. Alex Anzalone is number 50, bruh. And how many edge rushers were on this list? About 5, maybe? 5. When your top free agent is a 31-year-old or soon-to-be 31-year-old edge rusher, that tells you what the offseason is looking like. That is crazy. Wow. J-Mo career is being wasted with his mediocre QB. Oh, Lord Jesus. What are we doing? How are we doing this, bro? We cannot do this. Thuggin'. Why? I don't know. What? Bro, what did Jared Goff do to y'all? What did he do to y'all? Jesus. Why did this come up? What are we talking about, bro? Sam Darnold just won the Super Bowl, and he's far from elite. What? Joey Bosa was 38-ish. Lions. I think he was 38. I think he was 38. Let me see. Yes, 30. Joey Bosa was 38. He was 38. Okay. How? Why is Goff even coming up? Hey, Jay Smooth, something, bro. Why are we I'm reading free agents, and that has zero to do with Jared Goff. How did he come in this conversation? I am confused. I'm confused. Hey, Lions. Size, profile, injury history, age, cheapness. Sign him up. Sign him up, bro. Him or Khalil Mack. He had 5 sacks, 5 forced fumbles, and 42 pressures. I feel like you old, right? Joey Bosa. And you know what? If the Lions had a chance to go after you before and they didn't, I feel like they won't. That's why I keep saying to y'all that for me, something has to change. Because Brad and Dan, the way they've been doing things, none of these guys are coming here. None of these guys are coming here. The top 50 free agents, nah, no. One of our guys is number 50. Nobody on this list is coming here. Not the way the Detroit Lions do things. There's a reason edge rushers are paid like QBs. What's up, Jay Smooth? Says, what's up, brother? Just been chilling and silent. Hope all is well. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good, bro. Sometimes these people in the comments have to be trolling. Yeah, I don't understand. How did we get to Goff? All the things we're talking about, and we somehow we get to Goff. Joe says Goff is the last problem the Lions have. I agree 100%. And I think that Sam Darnold really kind of showed you that you could take, but we had examples before that, dog. We had Trent Dilfer, like, dog. Eli Manning, to me, was far from elite. But when you got a guy like Strahan, you can win. You know what I'm saying? When you prioritize defense, you win. It helps you win everything. It really does. But you know what? I think that this free agency, I don't know. It's weird. I'm not excited for the Lions, but I am kind of interested in what's going to happen around the NFL. Is there going to be any movement from Max Crosby? Is there going to be any movement from Joe Burrow? I doubt it, especially the Bengals, bro. Like, you talk about one team you would never want to go to. If I was an NFL player, it would be the Cincinnati Bengals. I would rather go to play for the Browns than the Bengals, bro. The Bengals are, I would never, as long as ownership is what it is now, I would never, ever want to play with them. How are you? Imagine this, and I know I'm getting off, but Zach Taylor is the only coach out of the NFC North AFC North that is still there. What the heck, bro? You got Burrow. You still haven't got your defense. You want to putz around with Hendrickson. There's no way I would want to be a Cincinnati Bengal. You see what happened with the dude from last year's draft, and I understand why he did it now. I would do the same thing, bro. I would pull a Eli Manning. I would not go to the Cincinnati Bengals. If they drafted me, I would not play for them. Dre says, if we don't have Goff, we wouldn't have a team. Facts. It's a Detroit tradition to blame our QBs for the failure of our rosters. Yeah. Josh says, hate to say it, but you're right. I've been talking about who I like to see on the team, but it ain't happening. Don, what up, though? Says, I'm confused, too. No matter how you look at it, they have to make a huge signing for free agency, at least one, whether it's a center, DE, LT, or whatever. I really like listening to all the calls you do. You should do it more. No, look, Matthew, I do it. The number be there, man. Nobody calls, or very few people call. O-line are the only quality free agents to me. Bengals are so bad. Again, Lions will never achieve anything as long as Goof is QB. Okay, all right. You have no, bro. Thuggin, I'm gonna put you in a corner for a little bit, bro, because you got to come with some substance, man. We got 13 minutes of the show. You'll be back with 8 minutes. You got to come with some substance. Like, again, we got to come with some substance. We have to come, give me a reason. What Trent Dilfer, y'all just don't like the man. And you know what? It might be his wife. I don't know. I don't know. Is it the wife? Because I just don't understand why we have so much hatred towards Jared Goff. I do not understand this at all. He did not ask to be here. He did not ask to be extended. He did not ask to do any of this stuff, right? When we were winning, he was a major reason why. I don't understand this. And I assure you that there are at least 8 NFL teams that would probably take JG right now. Those teams would have to have a good offensive line, but that's most quarterbacks. Like, what are we talking about? Drake May was running for his life. I just don't understand this, man. I don't. And to me, it's detestable because I was there when people were blaming Stafford and you can't win with them and we'll never win with them and win in a minute. And then those same people went to Pro Sports Zone and bought a Detroit Rams shirt. That is ridiculous to me. Why don't you hold the team accountable? Hold the people that signed this man accountable. What is this? So we will never win. Okay, fine. Whose fault is that? You go up the ladder and you blame those people because they decided to sign him. We could have had a new quarterback this year. The Lions, they drafted one. This regime is not going to draft a quarterback like super high. It's not going to happen. They're not going to draft anybody who can compete with Jared Goff. I thought they might early on. And when they took Hendon Hooker, that showed me that they took Hendon Hooker because I think that that's what they were doing. And then when Goff balled out in 2024, he put that to bed. What is happening, man? I wish I could get more insight, but there's very little we don't agree in. AI made me look too old. Derek, we know what you would Derek, we know you would die for JG. You don't have to keep saying it like every stream. Bro, Murph, nobody was talking about Jared Goff until he mentioned him, bro. And it's not that I would die for JG, but I've been through this already. Y'all want to blame this man like he's the problem, and he's not. That's the point I'm trying to make. He's not the problem. He never was. And if he was, your general manager decided to keep the problem. Like that, it ain't about that. Look, David Pike is the Jared Goff keeper. That's what he does. Okay? Shout out to David Pike. That's my homie. I am not that guy. I'm not that guy. But I also, like, you could be a lot worse than you could be better. And so what? He can't move. Who cares? He was carving people up, not being able to move. Stafford ain't the most mobile quarterback either. And he won MVP. What are we doing? I was chilling. Nobody even mentioned or alluded to Jared Goff until my man brought him up. What up, Trey? This is get rid of St. Brown since he has so much to say about me not knowing football. Plus, he didn't want to be here in the first place, and get rid of Monty since they're not playing him. Yeah, you know what? If he's part of the problem, he's part of the solution too. You give him credit for losing or being a problem, give him credit for being a solution as well. Lions got lucky being able to get Goff. We just need quality role players. We're like a basketball team with stars and no 3 and D players. We can fix all our problems with a solid offseason. Lions, see, you feel solid, I feel flawless. Has to be flawless. You gave up a 3rd round pick for Tesla, right? You've got to be flawless. Lions have to create money. You know what? Maybe that's the holdup. They can't sign, they can't do anything, they don't have any money. Maybe that's the holdup. So I don't know. But I got to push back a little bit because I don't think solid is what we had an opportunity for solid. And we blew that. We blew that in 2024. We blew it in 2023. We blew it in 2025 because Brad was so reliant on the draft. What would you call a solid offseason? Like, would you guys be excited if we signed Khalil Mack or Joey Bosa? Excited? Now you'd be like, okay, all right. Okay. I mean, I'm not going to say that Khalil Mack is a scrub, even at 35 years old. I'm not going to say that. I'm be like, that's something Brad would do. You know what? In the offseason of 2024, I was making a joke about Andrew Van Ginkel. So Andrew Van Ginkel, I wind up seeing a lot of Miami games. Like they were on TV. And I'm watching Van Ginkel. I'm like, okay, kind of resembles Alex Anzalone. I'm like, wow. So all of a sudden he just pops on my radar. You know, I can't really consider guys that I don't really see or know a lot about. So I'm watching. I'm like, this somebody Brad is on, like a Van Ginkel, right? Off season comes. Van Ginkel gets a bunch of money, goes to the Minnesota Vikings, and balls out of control, and has been solid for them. And he was on the Hard Knocks. That was when the Miami Dolphins were in the in-season Hard Knocks. And you know what? I got to believe like the Detroit Lions in-season probably would come soon, or like the NFC North or something like that. And I'm like, wow, now I see why he didn't sign Andrew Van Ginkel, because Andrew Van Ginkel was too high up. He was too high up. And so we decided to sign Marcus Davenport. That's what we do. Let me see. We got to stay healthy, and we will be in the mix. A solid offseason would be bringing in Tyler Linderbaum, unless it's Hendrickson, everything else is mediocre or terrible. So many holes on this team now. I want Crosby, but that should have happened like in 23, 24. Too late now. Steve says trade Tesla, Ahmed, love it, and 2 picks for an elite edge. I remember watching Van Ginkel at Wisconsin because we made fun of his name. If anyone needs to be excited, if anyone needs anything to be excited about, go watch some Gibbs highlights. Hey, Kelly says, I've been calling the voicemail phone number, but it doesn't let me leave a message. It beeps. And a second later, the phone has a dialing sound. Mm. You know what, Kelly? Somebody caught it not too long ago. Okay, I will try to figure that out over the weekend and see what's up with that. I don't think it's full. Oh, there it is. Wait, call from. Okay, Kelly. So I see, I see. That is okay. That's weird because it showed me. Okay, call. That's weird because it showed. It doesn't say like it's you, of course, but I wonder, do I have to? No, it didn't say that like my number is full or whatever. Hmm. Okay, I will see what's going on with that because the last voicemail that I see is from January 31st, but I just think that's because nobody called. You know what? Kelly, I'm about to call it. I'm about to call it and see what happens. Okay, because hold on. There's a 12-second message from you. We got a $10 super chat from Big Black Coffee. What up, though, man? Appreciate you. Says, I got a video idea for you. Brad has drafted 10 defensive linemen, and only 2 so far have amounted to anything. Tyleek still in question. I think it's time to question Brad's ability to draft D linemen. That is a video idea for sure, my brother. I appreciate that. Hold on. Let me see. Because I got a 12-second. Kelly, let me try something. Okay. All right. Now, Kelly, try it again. Try it again. I think I fixed it. Try it again. And then I'll bring that on before we get off. Zachary says, all of the wide receivers have been drafted recently. Tesla deserved number 3. The only way we bounce back next year is if Brad knocks the draft out of the park. And see, that's what I think. I think that we need both. I think we need we need an above average, a fantastic free agency, and that includes signing whatever guys we're going to sign back of our own. So that's what I think that we need to do. That is a great, you know what, Big? So the 2 that have worked out that you're referring to have to be Aleem McNeil and Aiden Hutchinson, right? Those are the 2 defensive linemen that have worked out. Big Black with another super chat. Appreciate you, my man. Says Brad has also traded away 6 third-round pick drafts. Only one resulted in anything, which is JMO. So 5 starters. Wow. So 5 starters right now could really help this team. Hey, you went in your bag for that one, Big. That's crazy. Wow. See, when you look at it like that, and then when you couple that with free agency, like think about this. Okay, so how would you say that Brad treated the offensive line? What grade would you give Brad Holmes for addressing the offensive line throughout his 5-year tenure? There's no wrong answer. Whatever grade you feel is what you would give him, right? I think the offensive line. Okay, you bring in Zeitler, you draft a couple guys, you trade up for some guys, you knock it out the park with Panay. You were gifted Taylor and Ragnow. What would you give Brad? The D-line. Okay, Steve says addressing offensive line, D+. I hear Demo might get traded. Well, we've been talking about that, but have you heard anything new? Is the question. That's crazy. I'm telling you right now, bruh. If we trade David Montgomery, I'm coming for Brad. I don't even want to. I'm coming for him, bro. It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense to me. It doesn't make sense. Why would we do that, bro? It ain't even about Monty per se. It is why would we do that? Tell me how that makes sense. How does that make sense? You think Sione Vaki is going to be the guy? And then we have to use a resource, whether it's money or trade capital from the draft to get another running back. I don't understand. You have a solid running back under contract. You're going to cut this guy for what? If this happened, man, I think, like I told you, Davenport, and I'm on record, Davenport, fire. Monty, fire. I want him gone. Because if you sign either one, if you sign Davenport or cut Monty, you have no idea what you're doing at all. And it's obvious. You ain't never going to take us nowhere. Why the heck would you do that? I don't understand. Why would you do that? You just signed this guy. You just extended him. We need a second running back. And you're going to do what? Sione Vaki is the answer? Stop it. Stop it. No. Ain't no way. Ain't no way, bro. There's no way. I don't understand the sense that it makes. If you cut David Montgomery, you have to replace him. Why would you? With who? With who? You have a solid running back on your roster. Why would you cut that? Like for what? To downgrade or to save a few $1 million? That's your problem, man. Ain't no way, bro. Look, I said this a month ago. He trades David Montgomery or cuts him. I want him fired, and I'm going to be the only one saying, I promise you that. I promise you that. When them guys at 97 won the ticket, when you call into them and people talk about firing Brad Holmes, I was like, yo, if you didn't have to be on hold for hours, I would call them. Plus, the thing about 97-1 that I don't like is they don't have dialogue with you. They let you talk, and then they won't let you like defend your point. And if they do, it's real quick, and you're not even like you're just slid off the line. So I've called them before back when Burleson, when Nate broke his arm, I called in to Valenti and Foster at the time. And it was funny because they screened me, right? And they were like, how do you feel about this? And they wanted me to be upset. It was weird. It was weird. They screened the callers, which is fine, but they asked me like, how mad are you? And I was like, blah, 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 and they let me through. And I still was on hold for a while. Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way. Fave says, and cut him for what reason? It's not like Brad would do anything with the money. I just don't know what sense it makes. Rich says, I just want a solid team for 18 weeks. Is that asking too much? Rich, it might be, bro. Derek, we have too much unnecessary offense. We can't get a great player. We can get a great player for Demo. His value is super high right now. Stop being emotional. We need to win. See, I'm not being emotional at all. It doesn't make any sense. You said we have too much unnecessary offense. No, we don't. We saw what happened when Monty was not being used. That's not this. Look, no, I'm not being emotional at all. At this point, if we were to trade David Montgomery or cut him, it tells me that Brad, after all of these years, he turns out he doesn't know what he's doing because it makes no sense. You tell me in the comment section, how does cutting? Okay, Lions says the compensation matters. Okay, Lions, what are we going to do? Who is taking his place? Who's going to take David Montgomery's place? We're going to draft a Jamar Jefferson. We're going to draft a seven. What? I don't understand this. You're going to trade a running back or cut a running back to then just have to sign or draft a running back. It doesn't make any sense to me. I don't understand it. So the compensation matters. Okay, if you're giving me a first round pick, then we got to figure out a way. If you're giving me a third round pick, no, I'm not doing it. I'm not doing it. At this point, why? I need to know why. Rich, Kelly, did it work? That was not talent. It was the staff fault. Okay, what are we talking about? It's people who want Kenneth Walker. And Kenneth Walker is not going to be cheap. He just came off a Super Bowl MVP. Come on, people. Whoever is saying that needs to use their brains. If we're not going to get Max Crosby, you think that the Lions are going to trade for Kenneth Walker and then find a way for Kenneth Walker and Jahmyr Gibbs to coexist? Hey, I can't. I cannot, bro. If we look, I might retire. I might retire. And y'all always find a way to keep me on longer. Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way. There's no way. But where did this information come from? Big Black with another super chat. Appreciate you, my guy. Says, Monty is the best backup running back in the league. Trading him to save a couple million ain't worth it. My thing is this, bro. Make it work. It was working before. It was working when we had Ben Johnson. Nobody was complaining. It was working just fine. It was almost working too good. You know what I'm saying? I mean, and we saw a prime example of what happens if you don't run Monty. And soon as Monty came in, boom, 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 boom. Like, what this? I don't understand this. I do not. I don't. And that's why I said, for me, there are two guaranteed fireable offenses: signing Marcus Davenport and trading or cutting David Montgomery. I just don't. I don't, because David Montgomery is, okay, Marcus is self-explanatory. But David Montgomery is from a standpoint of why. How does it make sense? How does it make sense? Somebody in the comment section give me a reasonable explanation of how trading or cutting David Montgomery makes sense. Because we know we're not getting a first-round pick. We're not getting a second pick. People barely value running backs as is. If it wasn't for Gibbs, Bijan, Saquon, McCaffrey, they have elevated the value of a running back. Remember when Saquon was drafted, people was like, how you take a running back at second overall? He showed you why by backwards hurdling over somebody. Come on, man. I need how does it make sense? Make it make sense. Braylon with the super chat says, Monty is supposed to be a core piece of this freaking team. If we trade him, it tells me Brad and Dan are hypocrites about wanting our guys. That's solid, bro. I don't know how it makes sense. Derek, so you rather sit Gibbs half the game? This is what you're telling me. Steve, if sitting Gibbs means that we're the run is working or that we're winning games, yes, I would sit Gibbs the whole game if it required it. There were times that Gibbs wasn't getting nothing, bro. He was getting stuffed immediately. David would come in, plop, pop, just boop, 5 yards, 6 yards, 10 yards. I mean, yes, I don't care about people's feelings, bro. I'm trying to win. You know what I'm saying? So if sitting Goff meant winning, sure. Sit Goff. If Kyle Allen would take us to a Super Bowl, sit him too. I need to know. Nick with the super chat says, because Brad is caught up on injured Vaki. It ain't no way, bro. There's no way. So let me ask y'all this. Let me ask you this. We trade David Montgomery. What is the minimum value that you would take for him? You trade David Montgomery, and we go into the season with Jahmyr Gibbs and Sione Vaki. There's no way. No, Steven, I'm not. You should know me better than I'm not kidding you. You don't get lightning without thunder. It's all about using them properly like we did in 2024. He gets stuff because of blocking. Y'all know. Y'all do know football. Change of pace. Can't have two running backs with the same running style. You guys ever see Grid likes this? Super chats in his hands aren't near his keyboard or phone. Now that's magic. Y'all are crazy. In the world. Okay, so Lion says a third and a fifth. Okay, so how do y'all feel about that? So we trade David Montgomery. We get a third and a fifth. Lions, when are those picks? When do we get those picks? I would wear down the D with Monty and then pound Gibbs. It was very effective 2 years ago. Okay, Kelly. So what happened was I took my phone off Do Not Disturb a couple of days ago, the voicemail system, and I think that meant like I had to answer the call. So now I'm glad it's working now. So that's what the problem was. Well, Tay, so here's the deal. Somebody came in and they talked about Dave Montgomery, that there's a rumor he's getting traded. So I'm not convinced that he's not. I do feel a little different ever since Drew got hired. I will tell you this. Brad Holmes didn't give me a bunch of confidence that he was going to stay. I don't even understand Brad's comments. Like, what are we talking about? And that's what the Lions' problems is. They get away from what's working. They get away from what was working. Like, if Monty was working, here comes Gibbs again, trotting him out for what? Monty is working. Gibbs obviously is not. Monty is working, right? And all of a sudden, we get rid of Ben Johnson, and now the Sonic and Knuckles are a problem. We loved it. It became a thing. Both of these guys ate. I don't understand. It just would make no sense to me. Don't trade him for picks. No. That's bad. Trade him for current players. Lions might need to go back and watch some of their own tape. Okay, so the Lions, did you put in Kelly, when you're done, I'll bring in your voicemail and we'll wrap up the show. So Lions, when do we get those picks? Trade Demo and a pick for Tyler Linderbaum. Okay, so Steven, I don't know if Derrick Henry is a free agent. I know they got another guy over there as well. I think they got Mason. Is he over there? I don't remember. Okay, Tyler Linderbaum is a free agent, so we don't need to trade for him. Come on, Steve. Come on, bro. I need you to lock in, my brother. He's a free agent. Brandon says, I don't want them to trade or get rid of Monty. He's a workhorse, and our offense is better when he's in the game. It would be stupid of bruh to trade him. I would agree to fire Brad on. Okay, so Brandon, all right, I appreciate that, and I'm with you. I'm still looking for an answer from anybody. Is there anybody out there? Give me an answer. What do we do? So who's going to be RB2? There's no more Craig Reynolds. Sione Vaki? No. Jacob Sailors? Is that what there's? No. And I like Jacob Sailors. What up, Walter? What's good with you, man? I that's why I think Monty stays, because of Dan saying they want to get back to what they used to do and bring in Drew, who looks like to run the ball. I agree. I think that Monty's fate was up for debate until we signed Petsy. And once that happened, I think even it seems like, even to me, Monty seems a little more casual. Like he already know what's up. Should not even close to being sitting on a bubble. So we don't need any more injuries. Okay, so Lions Live says draft a running back in the fifth, take the third, draft a speed rusher. Okay. All right. So Lions, you're saying that David Montgomery, that both of those picks are in 2026. Is that what you're saying? Let me see something. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. So I will tell my members the full story tonight, but I will tell you guys half of it. Okay, so you're essentially saying that the Detroit Lions this would be the Darius Slay trade. All right, so this would be the Darius Slay trade. All right, so would you, Lions Live 365, check out his channel, by the way, is saying a third and a fifth in 2026 for David Montgomery. Kelly says Brees Hall. Okay, so what you're saying is, okay, so how would we feel with the 5th round running back? See, you know what, Lions? Okay, so that's not horrible. It's not horrible. But you've got somebody that fits what you're doing. You have somebody that's proven. You have somebody that can elevate your team in David Montgomery. So you're going to get an edge rusher or with that 3rd round pick. And you're going to have to take who's ever there, right? Because let's kind of call it what it is. Do you guys think that the Lions do you think they have the capital to be aggressive this season in the draft? Like, Brad rarely trades back, but he'll trade up. We've seen it for Vaki. We've seen it for Giovanni. We've seen it for Broderick Martin, right? I just don't know if I can trust the 5th round running back. Vaki was a 4th. Like, I don't know if I can trust. You have somebody on your team, and you're going to trade him away for a potential 3rd round pick that may or may not do something. When, to be real with you, all right, so the Lions' third round picks list of, because how many of them have been successful? List of Detroit Lions 3rd round picks. Kirby, top of the list. Kirby is at the top of the list. All right, so Aleem McNeil, Kirby Joseph, top of the list. Which one you putting at the top of the list? So under Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell, here are the Detroit Lions 3rd round picks. This is according to StatMuse. The 3rd round picks: Isaac Tesla, Hendon Hooker, the legend Broderick Martin, Kirby Joseph, Aleem McNeil, Ife Melifonwu. He was decent. I don't know if he was 3rd round pick decent. He had flashes, but Iffy to me was more hit the results. Dog. Let me get off. The results, I don't want these ads to get me in trouble. So Iffy was more like a 5th round pick. Like his production was like 4th or 5th round. You know what I'm saying? He was hurt all the time. When he was on, he was on. So out of those picks, Kirby Joseph, Aleem McNeil, Iffy is Iffy, and Tesla looks like he's gonna work out. Big Black with another super chat. Appreciate you, my man. Says, no GM on the planet is trading a 3rd and a 5th round pick for a 29-year-old running back, LOL. I might agree with that. Darius Slay, dang. When Darius Slay was traded, which was in March 2020, I don't remember how old he was, but I'm sure he was in his hold on. Okay, how old is Darius Slay? Oh, here's a show I got into recently, Monarch. I got into Monarch about a week ago, binge watched the whole thing. So Darius Slay was born in 1991, so he was 29 years old when he was traded. He was 29. So outside of that, so the only person that gave me any type of compensation was that I saw was Lions. Lions Live Wire said a third and a fifth, both in the 2026 draft. Big Black says that nobody's going to trade for a 29-year-old running back, a third and a fifth rounder. I may have to agree with that. I was just kind of entertaining Lions philosophy. For me, you have something, it's working. David Montgomery was working. Build around that. That's one thing. So the Lions have only traded two guys, Matthew Stafford and TJ Hawkinson. They've traded, and you traded Stafford because the Rams wanted him and you wanted them picks. You traded TJ because you knew you were taking Sam Laporta. Like, if he was there, you were probably going to take him. Plus, TJ, he probably wasn't worth all that money. One Pride with the super chat says, Holmes can't draft beyond the fourth round. Who beyond the fourth round has he hit on? Hit on? Okay, define hit. Define hit, bro. Because off the top of the head, our fifth round picks are pretty much nothing. They're pretty much nothing. You got Sorsdahl, you've got James Mitchell, you've got, and yeah. Sixth round, Malcolm Rodriguez. I would call him a hit. And seventh, absolutely nobody. Like, nobody was a hit in the seventh round. Yeah, Malcolm, I'm not going to call Mekhi Wingo a hit. He's not a hit. James Houston was not a hit. If he was a hit, he would still be on the team. No. So, Malcolm Rodriguez. That is a great question. Great, mind me about 567 rounds don't hit like that and uses the late picks to move up anyway. Wait, 5, 6, 7 rounds don't hit like they used to. Our interior D-line needs to get better. We need a monster in the middle. Forgive me, Arado, we need to make defense now work. But we were talking about Monty in this situation, Steve. That's why I brought them up. No. So what we're talking about is we were talking about what picks. The comment from Big Black was Holmes can't draft beyond the fourth round. Who beyond the fourth round has he hit on? And so I was mentioning off some picks. There's nobody that jumps out to you. There's 0 people past round number 4 that jump out. Not a single person. James Mitchell was a 5th round pick. The only person, I'll take that back. Malcolm Rodriguez. He's it. He's the only person past round 4 off the top of the dome that jumps out. I can't, maybe I'm missing somebody, but there's no one else. Kobe Sorsdahl won't even be on his team come, hey, B1, you stupid, bro. Yeah, hey, that junk was crazy, bro. That's crazy. Yeah. Hey, they made it. You know what's crazy about that is, anyway, I'll keep that to myself. We don't need a pick. We could get Greg Newsome, Josh Uche, or Harold Landry for Demo. And then, Steven, Greg Newsome is a free agent. Uche may be, and Harold is under contract, I think. Like, bro, what are we talking about, Steve? Come on, bro. Come on, man. Okay. All right, you know what? I think it's all time that we get the weekend started. I think it's time it's All-Star Weekend, and we about to get the weekend started. But before we do that, let me see if Kelly left a message. Yes, she did. I have been waiting for Kelly to leave a message. The system is working. I like how you got the number saved, Kelly. I like that. All right. So well, that's really loud. All right. So we got the ladies. Love the ladies, man. Love when the ladies love football. So we got Kelly, an avid watcher of the channel. She's been watching for a long time. And she left a message. And I am excited because I've never heard Kelly's voice before. Not to put you on the spot, Kelly, but, I talk to the computer. Like, I talk to the computer, but you guys can hear me. You can see me. You can hear me. So when I get to hear somebody or meet them in public, now I can put a name or a voice to a face or whatever. So that's why this excitement is here. All right, so let me hook this up, and then we'll bring in Kelly's voicemail, and then we will wrap up the show. I am going to try to figure. I have a cord that should work with the system that I have, to make the connection wired and not wireless, so that, or wireless, and that hopefully will bring in. We'll be able to hear better. Okay. All right. Kelly with her whopping 34-second voicemail. Here's what she had to say.
Hey, Derek, this is Kelly. I'm in Phoenix, Arizona. Just wanted to say I truly enjoy your show. And, I had a root canal done, and I was listening to your show. I caught you live on replay. And as far as Brad, I don't know what he's doing. I really don't know what Brad Punchable Face Holmes is up to. I just hope we have a better season this year. So, all right, well, I'm going to sign off and enjoy the rest of the show.
Shout out to Kelly. I love that. Brad Punchable Face Holmes. Don't he, though? He do. Shout out to Kelly. It was a pleasure. And I'm glad I could help you get through that root canal. I'm like, yo, that's tough. I had some work done on my, the roof of my mouth, and it was tough. It was tough. So they had to put, this plaster up on the top of my mouth that I had to, it had to be up there for, a week. So I had to eat soup, and so I couldn't chew. It was crazy. So I'm glad I was able to help you get through that. Hey, Cue Ball, I'm doing it for my members, bro. I'm doing it. All you got to do is watch it. Just watch it after the show. Or you know what? So here's what I'll do. Just watch after you done working. Just watch it. Just watch it. I have it all planned out, bro. I'm opening it on my first member live stream. Yeah, maybe you know what I'll do? Maybe I'll record. I'll use my phone to record at the same time, and then I'll send you that message. And then you can come back and watch the stream when you get off work, when you're done with that. Yeah. Hey, look, it's still in the box, but I'm doing it tonight at 7 for my members. So, yeah. All right. So that is where we are with okay, let me see. Lions checking weight. If he under 270, he's not on the radar. But that's the show, ladies and gentlemen. Shout out to Kelly for calling the number. If you have the voicemail number, you can call it at any time and just let me know that you've left a voicemail. I'll bring it in. Here's what I was going to tell you. So I told you that the system is working, right? I figured it out where the system is working. I can be able to bring in guests. So we're going to start doing that. There's I'm going to try to do some things on this channel. As far as guests, this will probably be the main guest channel. But I also am throwing around a show that is going to have 3 different dynamics of opinions. And it's honestly something that I haven't seen much of in this space. I haven't seen a ton of it. And I'm working on the last person I'm trying to get in contact with. I haven't heard from him in a day. So, and my members, I'll tell you more about it tonight on Lion Syndicate. And, yeah, but if this goes down, I think it could be interesting. I think it can be interesting, and hopefully I'll have this up and running pretty soon. And I think you guys are going to like it. It's going to bring a different level of content to the channel. But yeah, I finally got it out. I finally figured it out. So now the only problem is when I bring in computer audio, I have to bring in the actual web browser into my software, and my software distributes the audio as opposed to the computer, because if the computer does it, then there's an infinite loop back. So I figured it out. It only took 3 years, and we got it going. So Derek works. Let me see. A Mile and Van Dyke. Derek, when I call in, we're arguing. Hey, all right, okay, Steve. Okay, bro. I'm gonna call it a debate, but you can call in. When you ready, let your boy know. When you ready, let your boy know. Okay. All right. Just let me know. Just say I'm ready. I'm ready. With that being the case, man, enjoy your weekend. I don't know if you guys are watching the All-Star stuff. I'm not. I'm back into the NBA, but I'm not watching like that. And I will see you on Monday, hopefully. Hopefully, like the Lions, some start happening, man. We'll find out very soon.
And I'm pissing off the neighbors. Whether homegrown or imported, we feeling shorted, cause we waiting on our paper. So next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City when we get back on the feet. Yeah, you don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets. Cause when you're in the Motor City, nothing is as pretty as the hustle. You don't know about the D, you don't know about the streets. Cause when you're in the Motor City, everything ain't pretty, but it's love though. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, where we get back on our feet. Next time when they ask you where you from, you gon' say Detroit City, when we get back on our feet. Yeah.